In grade 6, we're going to be covering grade 6 final, chapter 4, section 2. So today I want to do something different is because I will start with a story of two of my students. One is she was a very bright student. She's from Al-Danna city, which was previously called Ruwais. Another student who was from Khalifa city. Now, why am I trying to share this story? Because a lot of mothers, whenever they come to me, they talk about the issues that the students are facing in school as well, because I'm a SABIS graduate, so they think that, I would know the system better. I would know why the student is struggling. And I do agree, I do know the system. And I have been through all of those years of being under pressure and doing multiple exams. So the first story is about a girl named Aliana. I'm not going to say the right name because, for privacy reasons. So Aliana was actually a student of mine that she always does like really good marks and she's always attentive during the classes. And, the perfect student that she always tries to put in the effort without even her mother putting the effort. So what happened recently is that her mother was telling me that her marks have dropped a lot. Whenever they used to go and talk to Aliana about it, Aliana used to say that, my teacher is not good and I cannot understand what the teacher is saying in the class and all of those things. But what happened is that her mother, who was a teacher, she was a teacher herself. So she said that I noticed that she often used to tell me about this new friend of hers, that is her seatmate right now, who used to constantly talk to her throughout the class. And her mother noticed this by not completely believing, the teaching thing. She did believe her, but also not. So she didn't directly go to the administration and, start telling them about the teacher, complaining about the teacher. She said, I want to observe it myself. I want to find out what the problem is. Because I feel like she understands the system as well. So she told me, she was like, she has a new friend. They became, they became really close and they started sharing stories with each other. When this happened, she used to get distracted in her classes. And that's where her marks were dropping. Now, of course, as we progress in the grades ahead, for example, in grade 6, right, the math is a bit difficult. There are newer concepts. So she was struggling in that even more. So I'm always just want to advise the mothers that I'm not saying don't listen to your kids, but try to also observe other things and then make a decision that what you're going to do next. Because I know a lot of parents and a lot of like friends of mine, they used to go and complain at home, or the parents used to get upset with their marks. But once they used to talk to the school or they used to talk to their kids, they used to sit down and observe, they used to find the real problem. So I hope this helps out some mothers, and let's start chapter 4, section 2. Okay, let's dive right into it. So Mr. Thomas weighs his suitcase ready for his vacation, finds it too heavy. He takes out shoes that weigh 1.4 kgs. Now the suitcase weighs 9.5 kgs. Let N stand for initial weight of the suitcase in kilograms. What happens here? Mr. Thomas weighs his suitcase ready for his vacation, finds it to be too heavy. Okay? Now he takes out. What does take out mean? Take out means subtraction. Okay, it means subtraction. Takes out shoes that weigh 1.4 kgs. Now the suitcase, now the weight is 9.5. Let N stand for initial weight of the suitcase. So we'll say initial weight is N. He took away 1.4, which is equals to 1.4, which is equals to 9.5 kgs. Okay? This is the equation that we have understood by reading the first statement. Which of the following equation can be used to determine the value of N? So by the statement above, we have made that N was the initial weight. Mr. Thomas, when he weighed it, was too heavy, so he took out his shoes, and they told us the weight of the shoes, which is 1.4, equals to 9.5. What is the weight right now after removing the shoes? So now, which equation is that? This one. Now, when you solve for N, you get N minus 1.4 is equals to 9.5. Right, so we take this to the other side and we do plus. Remember, the sign always changes when you take it to the other side of the equal sign. 1.4, that will become 10.9. Let's go to the next question. I hope this was clear. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comment section below. Stephen swims a certain distance in 25, 1 over 5 seconds. Bob swims the same distance in 25, 3 over 10. Let Z stand for the time in seconds. Stephen completes the distance faster than Bob. Now remember, a lot of students get confused in this because they're like, they don't read clearly, or they are missing, like sometimes in their head they're like, this is too much information, I don't know how to solve this. So what is happening here? Let's make it easy for us. For example, if we have Stefan and Bob. Bob swims the same distance, but in a longer time, right? So what do we want? We want Stefan's time plus Z. Now, why did I plus Z? Because Z is the time that the extra time that Stefan had. For example, let me explain this once more. We have two people, Stefan, let's write S for the person, and B for Bob, okay? Now, Stefan swims a certain distance of 25, 1/5 seconds. For example, if I don't write this, I'll make it easy as a whole number, 25 seconds. Then Bob swims the same distance in 25, 3/10. So let's write 26 seconds, right? So now, what do I want to say? Let Z stand for the time. In seconds, Stefan completes distance faster. So it means that Stefan is faster, and if he's faster, so it means he covers the distance in a smaller time. For example, now 26. Now what is 26? 26 is 25 plus 1, right? 25 plus 1. That is what 26 is, right? I can replace the 25 by Stefan, because what is Stefan equals to 25? So I remove this and I'll put S. S plus 1. The same thing we will do in the question. We will put here Z, that was the time, right? Z is the time that, let Z stand for the time. Stefan completes the distance faster than Bob, plus 25, 1/5. Why 1/5? Because this, all of it, when you add this time and the time that Stefan takes to swim equals Bob's time, 25, 3/10. Okay, I hope everyone understands this. If you don't, ask me in the comment section below. So Z is the time that it's a time faster. The distance, the Z for time in seconds, Stefan completes the distance, plus the time Stefan takes to cover a certain distance. All of this, when you add it, you get Bob's distance. So what is that? That is going to be this answer. Now, when we want to solve this, let's write it again. Now, what does this ask us in the next question? Solve the equation identified in previous part to find the value of Z. So now they want you to find out what Z is. So Z plus 25, 1/5 is equals to 25, 3/10, right? Just rewrite the question again. Take your fraction to the other side. That will become minus 25, 1/5. Right? Now remember, whenever we're dealing with fractions, we need to have the denominator to be the same. So multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2. Now 25, 3/10 minus 25, 2/10. Subtract this, you will get 25 minus 25 is 0. 3 minus 2 is 1, and you get 1/10. That is your fraction. 1/10. That is in the lowest term, write it as a fraction. And that's what we did. Now let's go to the next one. Okay, let's look at this. Minus 1/8 equals to y minus 3/4. You solve it this way, like you take it to the other side. Look at the steps that they also did for you in the question to make life easier for you. Sometimes I know these extra steps make it difficult for you because you would solve it in another way, but don't worry. What did they do? They just took this step to the other side, just to make it clear for everyone. So we have minus 1/8 plus 3/4, okay, is equals to y. Now remember again, you see that minus 1/8 was exactly the same it is. The other one, 8, the 4 here became 8. So what did they do? They multiplied here by 2, and also keep that thing in mind that whenever you're dealing with fractions, the denominators need to be the same. So 4 times 2 and 3 times 2. I keep reminding everyone of these concepts so it will be easy for you and you don't get stuck on a question. So minus 1/8 plus 6/8 is equals to y. What is that? 5/8. You subtract it because they're different signs. They're both fractions, so 5/8. The denominator stays the same. You subtract minus 1 plus 6. So that's 5/8. And remember, what sign do we take of the larger number? So it was positive 6. That was the larger number, and you took the sign of that one. Okay. In here you have 7 over 3 y plus 5 over 12. Again, the same thing. They took this to the other side. The sign changed. It became 7 over 3 minus 5 over 12. And then you multiplied here by 4. Multiplied here by 4. Why are we multiplying here? Keep in mind that we need the denominators to be the same. That's why. Only then we can subtract or add fractions. So 7 times 4 is 28 over 12 minus 5 over 12. Right? So 23 over 12. 23 over 12. The next thing is minus 7 over 3. And then we take it to the other side, minus 5 over 12. It becomes again the same thing. You took this to the other side. We want y because they want what is y equals to, right? We're looking for y. So we have the denominator here to be 4. And we multiply above by 4 as well. It becomes again minus 28 over 12 minus 5 over 12. So what is that? You add them, right? Same signs, you add them, what do you get? 33 over 12, negative 33 over 12. So that is your answer for this one. And you write here, the minus is already written for you, so don't make the mistake of writing the minus again. 33 over 12. Let's go to the next question. Okay, in this one, this is very straightforward, and I hope this word question, everyone gets it after all of the explanation of the previous questions. Helen had some marbles in her collection. She lost 10. What does lost mean? Subtraction. 10 of these marbles were moving to a new house. Now Helen has 50. So now right now she has 50. Let M stand for the number of marbles Helen had initially. So in the starting, Helen had M number of marbles. Minus, we take away 10. Why did we take away 10? Because she lost those. And what does she have right now? Because look at the timeline. Initially, we put that first. Initially. Then we subtract 10 from it when they move to a new house. Now, right now, at this time, she has 50 marbles. M minus 10. Now, number of marbles Helen had initially in her collection is. So you take this to the other side, right? How many did she have initially? Because we want to solve for M. That was her number of marbles initially. We have plus 10 here. 50 plus 10 is how much? 60. So there you go. You got the answer. 60 marbles were there initially. Now here, the same thing you will do is straightforward. K is minus 0.5. K is minus 0.5 and 2.1. We take this to the other side. We get plus 0.5. Just add them. I hope everyone knows how to solve decimal numbers. 2.1. You put the decimal numbers above each other and 0.5. Okay? Then what do? 5 plus 1, 6. 2 plus 0, 2. And you put the decimal point right underneath where the decimal point is. 2.6 here. The next one we have so it's minus 5.5. You take it to the other side. It becomes K is negative 1.1 plus 5.5. So what do we have here? Usually, whenever there are different signs, I tell the student to put the larger number up. So let's do that. Because remember, there are different signs, you're supposed to subtract. And subtraction is always best to put the larger number up. So minus 1.1. So what is this? 4 and 4. And which number is larger? 5.5. What sign does it carry? Positive. So we just have the end. The answer is positive as well. 4.4. Okay, let's look at this. Y, we take this to the other side. Again, it's positive, negative here. We take it to the other side. Becomes y is equals to 1.5 plus 1.2. What is that? 2.7. So now that here y is equals to 1.1. Again, you will do the same thing. Minus 6.5. 6.5. Again, what will you do here? Minus, now of course, 6.5 is the larger number. It carries the negative sign. So already put for the answer a negative sign. 1.1. Subtract it here. 5 minus 1, 4. 6 minus 1, 5. 5.4. Negative 5.4. Okay, this is very straightforward as well. You're just supposed to, if you know how to do this, if you know how to do the subtraction addition, you will do this very easily. So you take this to the other side, you put minus 6.5 here. So minus 6.5 minus 3.2. So remember, same signs, what do? You add. So minus 6.5 plus 3.2. But remember the sign, already put the sign here and trust yourself, like put the sign beforehand here and then just solve it. So they're both negative and negative, so the sign at the end will also be negative. 5 plus 2 is 7. 6 plus 3 is 9. So 9.7. Let's go to the next one. Again, the same concept. 4. We want what z is equals to. We'll take this to the other side. It becomes 4 plus 19. Okay, so that will be 23. Let's go to the next one. The last question for today. W plus 4, take to the other side. I know that everyone is starting their weekly assessments, so these videos can be helpful when you're revising them. Minus 4, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. So plus 4, take it to the other side, minus 4. When you add this, minus 11 minus 4 is minus 15. Remember, they're same signs, you'll add them. And at the end, you will also do negative 15. Here, what will happen? Minus 1, take it to the other side. It becomes plus 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. There you go. We're done for today. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.